wanted to comment upon your responses to the discussion board that asked you to rank what you thought were the most and least valuable routes for the field of visual communication. But before I do that, I want to say what an outstanding job as a group you did on that first shot at an analysis of an image. I hope that doing that caused you to experience two things. One, realize just how perceptive you can actually be when asked to carefully analyze an image. And two, how articulate you can be when you apply some of the time-honored terms that have been used for visual analysis. So I inserted replies to your comments in that discussion board. So if you haven't already seen them, you might take a look at them. But now on to the question of which are the most and least valuable routes for the field of visual communication. As should be obvious, there are no right or wrong answers to this question, but I asked you to do it for a couple of reasons. One is to sort of get a sort of meta understanding of what it is that you are engaged in here. It is a field that has sort of grown rather rapidly, has grown rather widely. So there's a variety of different takes that people can make. But as the tables in the Canvas page about this relate or indicate, you'll see that it is often the case that what some students think is the most valuable route, another student thinks is the least valuable route. And two categories that regularly get that treatment are developmental and visual versus verbal. On the developmental side, I think it relates closely to whether or not the person ranking it either has young children or somehow has or does work with young children in some professional capacity, possibly as a teacher or in some field where young children are the clients or the target market. The other one, visual versus verbal. A lot of people think, well, this is a not that valuable academic distinction. But as we continue our reading, I hope you will come to realize that this is a rather large and important question. And I think one of the reasons it is looming so large is because up until recently, we all lived in a primarily verbal culture. But we are fast entering one that is becoming primarily visual. And so what that means is we're seeing a changing of the guard, and that results in things that are very threatening to the old guard who privileges verbal over visual, and sort of enabling to those people who are now more interested in visual over verbal. So more about that later. In addition to this announcement, I will put out two other discussions today relating to things that I asked you to read last week, and then also talking about what you're going to be asked to do in the next portion of this course. Talk to you soon.